what really frustrates me...
I don't get why people crying.
What really frustrates me is that Man City weren't that great. I didn't watch the game, apparently. Nothing said about that.
They were rubbish.
But then the next day we play, we get the job done and we're criticised and all that.
Do you know what it is? I think, like, when you've won a title before, like City, when you get through a tight game, they'll credit you for it and go, that's a sign of champions. But because we haven't won the league, when we win a tight game, they go, they look nervous or set pieces. So I think the narrative's different because they go, well, they haven't won it.
It's unfair, though, isn't it? It's unfair because as we said, right, you know what I mean? Like, I saw City play a couple of weeks ago, and it's a good win against, their last game? Their last home game. Was it Newcastle?
Yeah, Newcastle.
Again, put under serious pressure in the second half. Remember, Newcastle, again, did a bit like what Chelsea did. Threw everything at them. You had Haaland winning, tackles in his half and celebrating with Donnarumma. They're going like this and that. If we do that, it's like, it's got to be even. I know there is that, they've done it before, but that ain't a bad thing, and then copy that then and try and do that if that's how teams have done it and get over the line.
Do you remember I can't remember what game it was last season when we were celebrating a win and Jamie Carragher was going, get off the pitch, you know what I mean?
When we beat Liverpool 3-1.
And then when they would beat Liverpool the other week, they would say, look at the celebrations, it's fantastic, look at them celebrate. There is a difference in it,
Yeah.
And it's something that we're going to have to put up with. So we're going to have to put up with. Like, for me, Chelsea, I don't think Chelsea were a good lot yesterday. I'm going to be really honest. I thought that they come there with damage limitation, try and stop us playing. And when we play Man City, it'd be different because the jeopardy is the same for both teams.
Might be a similar game to what you saw yesterday.
Well, I don't know. I looked at that game yesterday, Rob, and this is where it's different for us. A draw for them was an okay result. For us, it was a catastrophe. But for Liverpool, for when we play Man City, the consequences are the same. So you're going to get a little different go. Every time we go on Wednesday night, a point for Brighton is not the end of the world. For us,
great result for them.
Great result, So that's what we're up against now. But that's what the league's about.
Which is if you're a player now, you don't want to be that player that makes that error. That we've seen it. Listen, there'll be some little bits of scars from that Wolves game.
Yeah.
Right, because when you look at the way they got back into the game, it was error. It was switching off. The first goal, in Nketiah is nowhere near. Gives the guy time. It's a great goal, but under normal circumstances, someone should have been closer to him to not allow him to do that. The second goal was a bit chaotic. Raya makes an error.
Yeah.
It's nobody wants to be that guy that's going to make that error. So sometimes players are like, a game now that we're going to watching some of these games now are going to be different to what we watched at the start of the season, where they may have said to themselves, right, you know what, winning 2-1, 10 men, let's go and stick the dagger in, man. Let's go out there and smash these men up 3-4.
What do you think of the scenario on Wednesday now when we're both playing at the same time? Do you think there's going to be a difference?
Shouldn't be. It should be just win for both teams, shouldn't it?
Because there is that thing of they went before us or we go before them and all. But this game, I think, is the only time for a very long while where we're both crashing at the same time.
That's all that matters.
And we've got the harder game, haven't we, really? They got Forest at home, but this is a tricky game on Wednesday. Brighton are just one of them teams you don't really know what you're going to get. And Welbeck and them, man, as well. So.
Drew them last year at their ground as well. So, big game, man. You see, whenever no one else gets this stick for scoring from a set piece apart from Arsenal, at first I used to hear this agenda thing and that, right? Now I'm starting to wonder if it's true because I watched that Man City game.
Yeah.
That was a struggle for them. They started off the game, Leeds were on top for about the first 20 minutes, should have scored. They had a couple of good chances. Leeds, did not take them. Then fair play to Man City, grew into the game, but just before half-time, knocking on the door, got a goal. Then in the second half, it was a struggle for them. It was a battle, loads of nerve. Exactly the same like how you saw our game, because basically, Leeds just started throwing the kitchen sink. Bit like what Chelsea did yesterday. Chelsea was like, you know what? We're down to 10 men. May as well, let's just have a go, man. If we lose, we lose. Whereas it's a bit different for us. Yeah. For us now, it's like, all right, if we go for this and we get caught on the counter and it's a draw, these are some serious points dropped. We have to now manage this game properly exactly the same what Man City did against Leeds. So there needs to be a balance on attack, but also be sensible in defence. It don't matter that they got 10 men. It's a different type of game because the prize at the end, it is like, we've seen this, when you watch a cup final, when you watch a semi-final, there's so much on it that teams are like,
We just have a little mention to Gary Neville. Like, you know what I mean? I'll tell you what, like, I'm quite like Gary, met him once and he seems a nice guy and all that, but come on. I think that's onside, he says. Like, yeah, totally
get your eyes
on their goal that was
totally embarrassing.
It's a mile offside even from where I was.
These commentators, these pundits have got to be a little bit more neutral. Get in the neutral zone.
Did you guys not see what Emmanuel Petit said on Sky? He literally said, well, you know, and they shot him down straight away. And he was like, basically calling out the agenda, saying everyone's getting on Arsenal's back. Everyone wants Arsenal to lose. And I actually agree with him. I think even comments of like people saying, I was watching Sunderland versus Bournemouth and they were talking about us in that, saying, oh, the Emirates is nervous. First of all, why are we getting spoken about in a game that has nothing to do with us? Bournemouth versus Sunderland. What relevance does that have to do with Arsenal? We're going for the league. This is what, two clubs that are 10th and 12th.
I don't think the stadium was nervous.
Exactly. I've been, you guys go to games, I go to games as well. You can hear in that stadium
it's tense at the end.
It's a bit tense sometimes, but that's that can be said in any ground in the country when you've got maybe, you know, very close games. But in my opinion, the Emirates is very supportive. It's very loud. The turnout is good. So I don't really get this whole narrative of, oh, the fans, you go to the Emirates and it's very nervous, blah, blah. Like, just Gary Neville talking about outside noise. Bro, you're the outside noise. Just shut up. Leave us, let us do our thing.
I've noticed Curtis has been very quiet, right? No, I think he's got a different perspective.
No, do you know what? I'm not too, like, we needed to win yesterday. That was the main thing.
Yeah,
it was
that
just
was
the case.
exactly.
Like you were saying, it's like a semi-final. You don't care. You just got to get through.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say from Arsenal point of view is I think when you leave a game at like 2-1, for example, you're leaving it down to chance one moment. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Let's say João Pedro's onside there and we're having a different conversation. So I would just like to see Arsenal sometimes, when they've got a team on the ropes, kill them off.
Yeah.
As soon as they went down to 10 man, I thought, yeah, man, my 3-1 prediction's coming in here. Instead, your prediction came in, you know what I mean? But because we've seen in games like Brentford and games like where they've equalised, because we have sat back and not really took it to them. So the only thing that concerned me a bit yesterday, I don't think any of our attacking players that started the game turned up. You know, I thought Saka, Eze, Gyökeres, Trossard, they all had average or below average games.
Yeah. To me, it's just like, it's more of just a double standard of, we're going to sit here and say, oh, Man City, yeah, they got past Leeds and that's what champions do. But when Arsenal played Chelsea, a team that Man City actually slipped up against at home comfortably in the last minutes of a game, we sat there saying, oh yeah, well, you're supposed to batter Chelsea. Well, Man City didn't batter Chelsea, did they? So to me, it's just more of like, it's just funny pointing out a double standard. As Lee said last week, we beat our deadly rivals 4-1 away in a very high pressure game. Gary Neville's there saying, how dare you celebrate? It's over celebrating when you're playing your worst rivals. But when Man City play Newcastle and they're there, yes, Donnarumma for a save. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a way of champions. It's just like, to me, it's almost tasteless to see that.
You know what's a funny thing as well, right? Do you know an ironic thing? When we was under Arsene Wenger, we used to get criticised for not scoring set pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was absolutely woeful.
Terrible.
Oh, if only we could
feel stronger.
Be good at set pieces, like, you know what I mean? Like, it used to be like, I'll get a call, give him a goal kick. And we used to get criticised so much for it. And, you know, listen, I love it.
I love it.
I can't help it.
I think the one thing you got to give credit for, after that Wolves game, to come back and score 6 goals in 2 games against those two and get 6 points.
Yeah.
And now we've just got to go on a run, haven't we? We've got to win a few games in a row. Because City have got a hard run coming up now. If you look at their fixtures.
Well, they're Forest.
No, but after that, they've got like Real Madrid twice, Newcastle away, then they've got us in the final, then Chelsea, then us again. So we've got to kind of put the pressure back on them.
Yeah.